Imagine, if you will, a vast, silent expanse of earth, undisturbed for centuries. Beneath the sun-baked soil of Xi'an, China, lies a secret, a whispered legend passed down through generations. It's the story of the Terracotta Army, an army frozen in time, a testament to the power and ambition of a single man, Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. Picture this. The year is 210 BC. A colossal project is underway, a project of such scale that it bends the very will of nature. Countless laborers, their hands roughened by toil, their backs aching from the relentless work, sculpt and paint thousands upon thousands of individual figures. Each one, a soldier, a horse, a chariot, meticulously crafted from clay and imbued with a lifelike stillness. These aren't just statues, they're guardians. Guardians of the first emperor's eternal slumber, his magnificent tomb, hidden deep beneath the earth. Think of the sheer artistry involved. Each warrior's expression, though frozen in clay, hints at a story untold, a life lived, a purpose fulfilled. The details are astonishing. The individual expressions on their faces, subtly different, each reflecting a different personality, a different rank. The careful articulation of their limbs, poised for battle, eternally ready to defend their master. The horses, too, are magnificent. Their powerful muscles, their flowing manes, meticulously rendered, even the harness and saddles crafted with remarkable detail. You can almost hear the faint whisper of their hooves on the imaginary ground, a phantom sound carried on the gentle night breeze. Each chariot, a marvel of engineering, stands ready to carry its passengers to whatever destiny awaits them in the afterlife. The emperor, a man consumed by power and immortality, desired an army that would accompany him beyond the grave. An army that would protect him through eternity, a force so vast and awe-inspiring that even death held no sway over his ambition. And so, this extraordinary army, this silent testament to human ingenuity and imperial ambition, was brought into being. The excavation of this hidden world began in the 20th century, revealing layer upon layer of this extraordinary secret. Each new discovery adds to the wonder, each warrior unearthed a piece to the puzzle of this ancient emperor's final resting place. Think of the countless hands that shaped the clay, the countless lives touched by this monumental undertaking. And as you drift off to sleep, let the whispers of the Terracotta Army, their silent vigil, lull you into a peaceful slumber. Their story, an enduring echo through time, fades into the quiet stillness of the night. Imagine, if you will, a time long ago in ancient China, a land divided, hundreds of years of warring states, each with its own ruler, its own armies, its own struggles. The landscape was etched with the scars of conflict, the echoes of battle lingering in the valleys and on the windswept plains. Into this fractured world stepped a young man, Ying Zheng, a prince with an ambition as vast as the empire he would one day forge. He was a determined boy, even in his youth. He watched his kingdom struggle, watched families torn apart, saw the endless cycle of violence that gripped the land. And within him a quiet fire burned, a burning desire to bring order to the chaos, to unite the warring kingdoms under one banner. This wasn't a childish fantasy, this was a deep-seated understanding of the suffering around him. He spent his formative years learning strategy, studying ancient texts, absorbing the wisdom and the ruthlessness of past rulers. His rise to power was not gentle. It was a slow, steady climb marked by cunning alliances, strategic maneuvers, and the relentless elimination of his rivals. One by one, the other states fell before his well-trained armies. He was a master strategist, a brilliant tactician, always a few steps ahead of his enemies. Think of the quiet concentration of a master chess player, carefully planning each move, anticipating his opponent's response, relentlessly pursuing victory. That was Yin Zhang. And when the final state fell, when the last opposing army surrendered, a silence descended upon the land. A silence broken only by the rustling of leaves and the distant calls of birds. It was the silence of a nation finally unified, the peace that comes only after a long and brutal war. Yin Zhang, now crowned Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor, had achieved the impossible. He had united China. His rule was absolute. He established a centralized government, creating a bureaucracy to manage the vast expanse of his newly formed empire. He standardized weights and measures, ensuring a unified economic system, allowing trade and commerce to flow freely between regions that had once been bitter enemies. He ordered the construction of a magnificent network of roads and canals, connecting the farthest corners of the empire and facilitating the movement of troops and goods. Imagine the immense scale of these projects. Thousands upon thousands of workers toiling under the scorching sun, moving earth, carving stone, shaping a nation. It was a time of immense change, a time of consolidation. This wasn't a gentle unification. This was a forceful, decisive shaping of a nation. It was a time of strict laws and harsh punishments. His methods were undeniably brutal. He suppressed dissent with an iron fist, leaving behind him a legacy both admired and condemned. But whatever your thoughts on his methods, he brought an era of peace and stability to a land that had known only conflict. The sounds of war gradually faded, replaced by the rhythm of life in a unified nation, the quiet hum of a newly forged empire. And as you drift to sleep, picture this unified China, a nation forged in the crucible of war, under the relentless ambition of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor. The Emperor Qin Shi Huang, a name whispered on the wind for centuries, ruled a vast empire forged from bloodshed and ambition. But even the mightiest ruler, surrounded by the trappings of power, felt the chill of mortality. He saw the wrinkles etching themselves onto his face, a stark reminder of time's relentless march. And so he began his quest. A quest not for more land or for more power, but for something far more elusive: immortality. He summoned alchemists from across his realm, men and women whispered to possess secrets older than the empire itself. Their laboratories, hidden away in secluded mountain valleys and opulent palace courtyards, hummed with a low, mysterious energy. The air within, thick with the scent of strange herbs and burning metals, held a promise, a shimmering, tantalizing promise of eternal life. These alchemists, driven by a mixture of genuine belief and the emperor's considerable rewards, toiled tirelessly. They ground rare minerals into fine powders, their mortars and pestles echoing a hypnotic rhythm in the quiet nights. They distilled exotic plants, the fragrant steam curling upward like prayers towards an unknowable heaven. They experimented with mercury, a shimmering liquid that held, in their eyes, the key to unlocking the secret of life's endless continuation. They believed that through the precise blending of earthly elements, they could create an elixir, a potion, a miracle that would grant the emperor immortality. Imagine the hushed whispers in those laboratories, the flickering candlelight dancing across aged parchments filled with cryptic symbols and formulas. Picture the alchemists, their faces illuminated by the glow of bubbling retorts, their brows furrowed in intense concentration, their hopes, and perhaps their fears, mingling with the fumes of their experiments. They were not mere scientists, they were philosophers, mystics, almost shamans in their pursuit of the impossible. Each concoction presented to the emperor, each potent draught, was a testament to their dedication, a fragile hope offered at the altar of eternity. He would consume these strange brews with a mixture of anticipation and, perhaps, a lingering doubt. Did the metallic taste hint at immortality, or merely at the poisonous nature of his yearning? The results, alas, were consistently disappointing. The elixirs, often far from harmless, brought illness and suffering, not the promised eternal life. Yet the emperor's obsession never wavered. He poured more resources into the alchemist's work, his relentless pursuit fueled by a fear that gnawed at his very soul. The fear of oblivion, the fear of fading into dust and nothingness. He clung to the hope, however faint, that somewhere within the crucible of their experiments the answer to his desperate plea lay hidden. And so the work continued, fueled by both ambition and the emperor's desperate desire to cheat death's inevitable embrace, a quiet desperation that echoes through the hushed corridors of history. The quest for immortality became a testament to the human spirit's enduring struggle against the finality of time, a story that fades into the night as softly as the emperor's hopes eventually did. The emperor, a man known for his ambition as much as his wisdom, began to contemplate his own mortality. He'd conquered vast territories, built magnificent cities, and amassed unimaginable wealth. But the sands of time, he knew, were ever shifting. So he conceived a project of immense scale, a final monument to his reign, a mausoleum, not just a tomb, but a city of the dead, a grand statement carved from the very heart of the earth. The planning began quietly, a hushed murmur in the imperial court. The best architects, sculptors, and engineers were summoned, their skills and creativity to be dedicated to this singular purpose. Mountains were surveyed, quarries identified, and the most skilled artisans were brought in from across the land, each a specialist in their craft. They worked not with the feverish pace of a wartime effort, but with a quiet, deliberate precision, each stone, each carving meticulously considered. Years melted into decades as the design evolved, refined, and expanded. The emperor, initially a distant overseer, grew increasingly involved, his own vision shaping the project as it took form. The chosen site itself was a testament to the grandeur of the undertaking. A secluded valley, ringed by towering mountains that seemed to guard the sacred space, was selected. Here, amid a stillness that seemed to whisper of eternity, the construction began. Slowly, surely, the ground began to yield, massive blocks of stone emerging from the earth, each a testament to human strength and ingenuity. The air hummed with the rhythmic clang of hammers and chisels, the quiet whispers of workers moving stones of unimaginable weight with ropes and pulleys, a symphony of controlled energy. The sun rose and set on this silent city of stone, a testament to man's ambition and their enduring drive to shape their own legacy. Within the mausoleum's vast chambers, artisans toiled, crafting intricate mosaics and delicate carvings. The emperor's own likeness was incorporated into the design, not as a mere portrait, but as a central figure, surrounded by scenes depicting his life and achievements. Battles won, cities built, treaties signed, all were immortalized in stone and precious metals, a visual chronicle of a life lived large. Deep within, a central chamber was meticulously constructed, the emperor's final resting place, a sanctuary of polished marble and inlaid gems. But this was not merely a tomb, it was a world unto itself. Subterranean passages wound through the structure, leading to hidden chambers, some said to hold treasures beyond measure, others whispered to be the resting places of the emperor's most loyal servants. The construction was not without its challenges. The sheer scale of the project tested both human endurance and engineering ingenuity. Landslides threatened, storms raged, and the weight of the stones tested the stability of the very mountain itself. Yet the workers, driven by a sense of purpose that transcended their individual lives, persisted, their efforts fueled by the emperor's vision and the promise of a lasting legacy. Finally, after decades of tireless labor, the mausoleum stood complete, a colossal monument to ambition, and a breathtaking testament to a ruler's enduring dream. As the sun cast its golden light on its towering walls, it seemed to whisper tales of the emperor's reign and the eternal sleep awaiting him within. The air itself felt heavy with the echoes of centuries, the silent testament to the grandeur that human hands could achieve. Imagine, if you will, the year 1974. The sun beat down on the dry earth of Xi'an, China, a region steeped in history, a land that held secrets whispered through the centuries. Farmers, their hands roughened by years of toil, were digging a well, their simple tools scraping against the ancient soil. They weren't searching for anything grand, just water, the lifeblood of their crops, the sustenance for their families. But the earth had other plans, a different kind of treasure waiting to be revealed. Their shovels struck something hard, something far more substantial than the usual rocks and clay. Curiosity piqued, they dug further, unearthing not just stones, but fragments of pottery, strangely painted, hinting at something extraordinary buried beneath their feet. These weren't ordinary shards. These were fragments of warriors, frozen in time. A single broken piece, then another and another, until a chilling realization dawned. They had stumbled upon something far greater than they could have ever imagined. Word slowly spread, a ripple in the quiet countryside, until it reached the ears of archaeologists. Experts arrived, their minds buzzing with possibilities, their hearts filled with a sense of awe. Careful, painstaking work began, the earth yielding its secrets inch by painstaking inch. What emerged was breathtaking. Not just a few broken pieces, but a vast army, an entire legion of terracotta soldiers, frozen mid-stride, each one unique, each one a silent testament to a bygone era. These weren't mere statues. Each soldier had individual features, distinct expressions, sculpted with remarkable detail. Some held spears, others bows and arrows, their formations precise, hinting at the rigorous training of a mighty army. Their faces, though weathered by time, still conveyed a sense of strength and unwavering determination. They stood as silent guardians, preserving a forgotten history, watching over the sleeping emperor they were meant to protect. As the excavation continued, the scale of the discovery became truly astonishing. Not only were there thousands of soldiers, but also horses, chariots, and even officials, all meticulously crafted and arranged in battle formations. It was as if a whole world, a forgotten army, had been buried alive, waiting patiently for its rediscovery. The earth itself seemed to hum with the echoes of the past, a silent conversation between the living and the dead. The sheer size of the necropolis, the scale of the undertaking, boggled the minds of archaeologists. They were looking at not just an army, but a snapshot of an entire empire frozen in clay, a testament to the power and ambition of the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang. The accidental discovery of that well, that seemingly insignificant act of digging for water, had unveiled a lost world, bringing forth the grandeur of a forgotten dynasty and offering a glimpse into the heart of ancient China. The quiet earth, disturbed by simple tools, had revealed a breathtaking spectacle. And it all started with the search for water, a reminder that sometimes the most profound discoveries are found in the most unexpected places. Now close your eyes. Let your thoughts drift gently back to that sun-drenched field in Xi'an, and let the whispers of history lull you to sleep. Now let's drift gently towards the heart of those mighty empires, to the faces of the warriors who shaped their destinies. Imagine, if you will, a legionnaire from Rome, his bronze helmet gleaming faintly in the fading sun. Perhaps a scratch mars the polished surface, a silent testament to a skirmish on some distant frontier. The helmet itself, a marvel of engineering, wasn't simply a mass-produced item. Each one bore the subtle variations of a craftsman's hand. Notice the way the metal catches the light, revealing the painstaking hammering that shaped it, the careful rivets that hold it together, a symphony of metal whispered to life. And beneath the helmet, think of the face, etched with the harsh realities of military life. Sun-weathered skin, perhaps a network of fine lines around knowing eyes. Not a flawless visage of youthful beauty, but rather a map of lived experience, a story written in the subtle curves of the jawline, the firmness of the set mouth. Each man, a farmer from the countryside, a blacksmith from a village, a merchant's son from a city, brought his own unique imprint, his own unique strength, and his own unique story to the ranks. He might bear a small, almost imperceptible scar above his eyebrow, a memento from a childhood scrape or a more serious encounter. His eyes perhaps hold a flicker of weariness, a hint of the endless marching, the relentless training, the ever-present threat of danger. But look closer, and you'll also find a spark of resilience, a quiet determination that held him steady amidst the chaos of war. Now let's journey east, towards the steppes of ancient China. Picture a soldier of the Han Dynasty, his armor a testament to centuries of refined craftsmanship. Each scale, meticulously crafted and fitted, contributes to the overall protective power of his breastplate. Notice the subtle differences in the color and texture of the lacquer, the delicate artistry of the inlaid patterns that might depict dragons or mythical beasts, symbols of power and protection. The armor itself, a work of art and engineering, whispers stories of dedicated artisans, their hands skillfully shaping leather, metal, and wood. These artisans, just as crucial to the empire's strength as the soldiers themselves, spent countless hours perfecting each piece. And the soldier's face? Imagine the high cheekbones and sharp features, typical of the region. His eyes might be narrowed slightly, reflecting a life spent under the vast expanse of the sky. His expression, perhaps, a mixture of stoicism and quiet pride. The lines etched into his face tell of endurance and harsh weather, but also of camaraderie and loyalty to his comrades. Perhaps a small, intricately woven amulet hangs from his neck, a personal token offering comfort and protection during times of conflict. And across the world, in the heart of Africa, a warrior from the ancient kingdom of Kush stands tall, his shield adorned with vibrant colors and bold designs. The shield, crafted from carefully treated wood or tough animal hide, is not merely a defensive tool, but a canvas upon which history and cultural pride are painted. Each warrior's shield would be subtly different, adorned with symbols and imagery reflecting their unique status within their clan or their personal achievements. Their faces, too, held deep stories, reflecting the rich history and heritage of their land. The sun-kissed skin, the striking features, the confident bearing, these are all parts of a legacy stretching back through centuries. Each soldier, a unique individual, each piece of equipment a testament to skill and dedication. These seemingly small details, a chipped helmet, a faded inscription, a worn leather strap, come together to form a mosaic that reveals a far richer understanding of the past than any dry historical text ever could. Let these images settle gently within your mind. Breathe deeply, and let the stories of these ancient warriors lull you to sleep. Imagine, if you will, a vast, silent army stretching as far as the eye can see. Not an army of flesh and blood, but an army of clay, each soldier meticulously crafted, each horse powerfully poised. These are the terracotta horses of the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang. Thousands upon thousands of them, buried alongside their master to serve him in the afterlife. Think of the quiet dedication, the immense scale of this undertaking. Each horse a testament to the power and might the emperor sought to command even in death. Picture a single horse now, not just any horse, but one chosen from among the many, destined for a place of honor in the emperor's eternal retinue. Feel the cool smoothness of the terracotta clay beneath your fingertips. Notice the subtle variations in the shade of the glaze, the rich browns and oranges mimicking the natural hues of a horse's coat. Perhaps this one is a fiery chestnut, its mane and tail flowing like liquid bronze, carefully sculpted into intricate curls and braids. Or maybe it's a darker, more stoic steed, its powerful muscles rippling beneath its skin, even in this stillness of clay. Run your fingers along its flanks, tracing the delicate lines that suggest sinew and muscle. Feel the subtle texture of the clay, the way it subtly shifts in tone and hue, hinting at the artist's skillful hand. Every detail speaks of hours spent patiently shaping, smoothing, and perfecting. The careful rendering of the horse's eyes, perhaps slightly glazed to reflect a distant, ethereal light. The way its nostrils flare, hinting at the breath it will never take. Consider the bridle and harness, painstakingly crafted, each buckle and strap perfectly formed. Imagine the gleam of the metal, meticulously recreated in clay, hinting at the actual gold and jade that once adorned such finery. These are not just horses, they are symbols of the emperor's power, his wealth, his reach. They are the embodiment of the mighty steeds that once carried him through his vast empire. Now consider the army as a whole, thousands of horses, each a unique work of art, each standing silent vigil. Feel the weight of their silent presence, a vast, unspoken story etched in the clay. Imagine the dust settling upon them, the slow passage of time marking their silent existence. Yet, despite this stillness, there is a vibrant energy, a potent sense of purpose. These are not mere statues. They are extensions of the Emperor's will, his power reaching beyond the boundaries of life and into the shadowed realm of eternity. Think of the artists, each working with incredible precision, each contributing to this monumental undertaking. Picture them huddled in dimly lit workshops, their hands moving with practiced skill, transforming simple clay into symbols of immortality. Their artistry, their dedication, lives on in these silent witnesses to a bygone era. Each horse a testament to their skill and the grand ambition of the Emperor himself. Let the quiet majesty of these terracotta horses lull you into a peaceful sleep, their silent story unfolding in the quiet corners of your mind. Now, as the gentle hum of the night settles around you, let's drift further into the heart of the mausoleum to a place of quiet mystery, the Chariot Hall. Imagine, if you will, the hushed darkness, broken only by the faintest glimmer of moonlight filtering through cracks in the ancient stone. The air is still, thick with the scent of dust and time, and there, before you, stand the chariots. These aren't the chariots of war, the swift, rumbling vehicles of battle. These are chariots of a different kind, built not for conquest, but for a journey beyond the earthly realm. They are carefully crafted, almost delicate in their design, considering their size. The wheels, massive and ornately carved from a dark, polished wood, perhaps ebony or a similar rich timber, are perfectly preserved despite the passage of centuries. Their spokes, meticulously fitted together, speak of a craftsmanship lost to the ages. Each spoke, a slender finger pointing towards an unseen destination. The bodies of the chariots are different. Some are low-slung and elongated, seemingly designed for comfort and a peaceful passage. Others are higher, more upright, suggesting a posture of reverence or importance. Intricate carvings adorn every surface, scenes of daily life, depictions of mythical creatures, and symbols whose meanings are now shrouded in the mists of history. These weren't mere vehicles, they were works of art, carefully created to serve a very specific purpose. The wood itself is surprisingly resilient. It's been treated with a special oil or resin, carefully applied layer upon layer, protecting it from the ravages of time and decay. Perhaps it was a secret blend of herbs and resins passed down through generations of artisans, a knowledge lost as surely as the whispers of the builders themselves. It's a testament to the dedication and skill of the craftspeople, who envisioned a journey beyond the grave and ensured their work would survive for those who might one day discover it. Notice the detail in the harnessing. No traces of metal corroded, just beautifully preserved leather and woven fabrics. The harnesses themselves are works of art, crafted with the same meticulous care as the chariots. Intricate braids and weaves create patterns that resemble flowing rivers, or perhaps celestial constellations, guiding the souls on their journey. You can almost imagine the gentle sway of the fabrics as they were once drawn through the air, a silent procession through a realm unseen. Perhaps the artisans believed that these chariots would serve as vessels, carrying the souls of the departed towards the afterlife. A comforting thought that these magnificent vehicles, crafted with such devotion, were designed to ensure a peaceful transition into eternity. Each carefully chosen carving, each perfectly placed detail, a silent prayer for a safe passage. They were more than chariots. They were symbols of hope, faith, and the enduring power of human creativity, even in the face of death. Now, as you drift off, imagine yourself gently gliding through the night in one of these beautiful vessels towards a peaceful and unending slumber. Let the image of those carefully crafted wheels and the whispers of the ancient wood lull you into a deep and restful sleep. The earth yielded its secrets slowly, reluctantly, giving up its ancient slumberers only after centuries of quiet keeping. And with them, buried deep beneath the soil, came the tools of their trade, the weapons and armor of the eternal guard. Imagine, if you will, the weight of the years pressing down, the slow seep of moisture turning metal to rust, the gradual crumbling of once proud leather. Yet, even in decay, a certain majesty remained. First came the swords, not gleaming blades of polished steel, but rather swords dulled by time, their once sharp edges softened, their surfaces etched with the patterns of erosion and the whisperings of age. Some were long, their hilts wrapped in what was once rich, dark leather, now cracked and brittle like fallen leaves. Others were shorter, perhaps favored for close-quarters combat, their intricate pommels hinting at the artistry of a vanished civilization. You can almost feel the weight of them in your hands, the cold steel against your skin, a tangible connection to the warriors who once wielded them with such skill. The shields were another story altogether. Many were broken, shattered into fragments. Yet even in their fragmented state, the craftsmanship was undeniable. Some were made of wood, reinforced with layers of leather and metal strapping, their surfaces adorned with faded symbols, remnants of elaborate designs now lost to the passage of time. Others were constructed from a thick, dark metal, possibly some form of bronze or iron, their surfaces worn smooth by the relentless caress of time and earth. Perhaps they bore the brunt of countless battles, deflecting blows that might have otherwise ended lives. And then there was the armor. Imagine pieces of leather, once supple and strong, now stiff and hardened, their surfaces imprinted with the passage of time. The metal plates, where they survived, were pitted and corroded, their once bright surfaces dulled and worn, like ancient coins discovered in a forgotten treasure chest. Helmets, their visors long since lost, lay like silent sentinels, their once protective forms reduced to fragile remnants. Breastplates, heavy and cumbersome, spoke of strength and resilience, of warriors who faced danger with unwavering courage. Imagine the weight of those suits of armor, the cumbersome feel of the metal, the limited vision through the small eye slits of the helmets. The warriors who wore this armor were incredibly brave. Perhaps the most poignant artifacts were the smaller items. Arrowheads meticulously crafted, though their tips were now blunted by age. Spearheads, etched with the same faded artistry as the shields, their points weathered and softened. Buckles and straps, fragments of belts and harnesses, hinting at the intricate nature of their weaponry and gear. Each piece, however small, whispers a tale of a bygone era, a story etched not in words, but in the silent language of decay. Each fragment hints at a life lived fully, a moment captured in time, a warrior's story played out under the watchful eyes of ages past. Now they rest, silent and still, waiting to be remembered, to be understood, to be woven back into the tapestry of history. Let the weight of these objects sink into your consciousness as you drift off to sleep, and let their stories unfold in your dreams. Now, as the gentle hum of the night settles around you, let's drift together to ancient China, to a time of emperors and vast sweeping landscapes. Imagine the year 210 BC. A mighty emperor, Qin Shi Huang, rules over a newly unified nation, a land stitched together from warring states. He's a man of ambition, a man who conquered and commanded, and he craved a legacy that would stretch beyond his mortal life. This yearning, this deep-seated anxiety about the unknown beyond, led him to undertake a project of unparalleled scale, a project that echoes even now across the centuries, the Terracotta Army. Think of it, nestled deep within the earth, a silent, watchful legion waiting for their emperor. Not just soldiers, but horses, chariots, even officials and acrobats, all crafted from clay and painstakingly painted, each one unique, each one frozen in a moment of poised readiness. Thousands upon thousands of figures, a breathtaking testament to human artistry and the emperor's unwavering belief in his own power. This vast subterranean army wasn't simply a decorative monument. It was a powerful symbol. It was a tangible manifestation of his authority, a physical representation of the might he wielded in life, now intended to serve him in death. For Qin Shi Huang, the afterlife wasn't a gentle fading away. It was a continuation of his earthly reign, albeit in a different realm. He envisioned himself continuing to rule, to command his loyal subjects, even in the shadow world. The Terracotta Army was his personal bodyguard, his eternal guard, ensuring his continued dominion, protecting him from whatever dangers lurked in the next life. It was a bold and grandiose gesture, a statement whispered in the silent language of clay and paint. The sheer scale of the undertaking speaks volumes about the emperor's anxieties. He wasn't merely preparing for death, he was battling against it. Each meticulously crafted soldier, each painstakingly detailed horse, represented not only his power, but also his fear, a fear of oblivion, a fear of losing the control he held so dearly in his life. The army was a vast physical attempt to conquer that fear, to bring a semblance of order to the chaotic unknown. Imagine the thousands of artisans working tirelessly for years, their hands shaping the clay, their brushes painting the lifelike features of these silent warriors. Each stroke of the brush, each meticulously placed piece of clay, was a testament to the emperor's obsessive drive for control, even in the face of his own mortality. The colossal undertaking is a chilling reminder of the immense power and the equally immense anxieties possessed by those who stand at the very pinnacle of human dominion. The army stands as a tangible representation of his desire for immortality, his belief that his power could transcend even death itself. It's a story whispered from the dust, a story of ambition, fear, and the enduring legacy of a man who sought to conquer even the afterlife itself. And so, as the night deepens and sleep gently draws near, let the image of this silent, watchful army rest peacefully within you, a reminder of the enduring power of human ambition and the quiet anxieties that even the most powerful rulers must face. Rest now, and let the whispers of ancient China lull you into peaceful slumber. Imagine, if you will, a time long ago, before the ease of modern machinery, before the roar of countless engines. Picture instead the rhythmic thud of hammers, the rasp of chisels against stone, the quiet murmur of thousands of voices working in unison. This is the world of the great pyramid builders, a world of immense logistical effort, of human strength and ingenuity stretched to their limits. The construction of a pyramid wasn't just a matter of piling stones upon stones. It was a meticulously planned operation, a symphony of human effort orchestrated over decades, perhaps even generations. Consider the sheer scale of the undertaking. Millions of massive blocks of stone, each weighing several tons, had to be quarried, transported, and precisely placed. First came the quarrying. Picture sun-baked desert landscapes, the air shimmering with heat. Men, working in teams, chipped away at the rock face, using copper tools and dolerite mallets, slowly, painstakingly extracting colossal blocks of limestone and granite. This was back-breaking work, demanding immense strength and endurance under the relentless desert sun. The process itself was a marvel of precision. Each block had to be carefully shaped and sized, anticipating its exact placement within the final structure. There was no room for error. A misplaced block could throw off the entire project. Then came the transportation, a feat of engineering in its own right. Massive sledges, possibly lubricated with water or mud, were used to haul these enormous stones across the desert floor. Imagine the sheer manpower required, countless men pulling and guiding these colossal burdens, their muscles straining, their bodies glistening with sweat. The route itself was carefully planned, taking into account the terrain and minimizing the arduousness of the journey. We can only imagine the ingenuity employed in maneuvering these gigantic blocks around obstacles and up gentle inclines. The sheer weight of the stones is staggering to modernize. To even picture these men struggling beneath their immense weight gives you an insight into their monumental achievement. And finally, the placement. Each stone had to be lifted into place with incredible accuracy. Ramps, possibly made of earth and brick, were used to elevate the blocks, though the exact methods still spark debate among scholars. Wooden rollers, levers, and ropes would have played a crucial role, with workers coordinating their efforts with meticulous precision. Imagine the sense of purpose, the shared effort, the quiet satisfaction as another block settled perfectly into place. The construction was not just a physical undertaking, it was a testament to the collective will of a community, a grand collaboration that spanned decades. The pyramid's creation was not merely a construction project. It was a testament to human organization, an elaborate social machine that coordinated the efforts of countless individuals, a display of engineering know-how, and a profound understanding of physics. As you drift off to sleep, picture those countless hands working together, building not just a tomb, but a legacy. Now, as the gentle hum of history fades around us, let's consider the mysteries that still linger, even after all these years of discovery surrounding the Terracotta army. It's a testament to the enduring power of the past, a quiet whisper echoing through the millennia. Even as archaeologists painstakingly piece together the fragments of this grand tomb, many questions remain unanswered, like riddles whispered on the wind. Think of the sheer scale of the project. Thousands of soldiers, horses, and chariots, each individually crafted with remarkable detail. How was such an undertaking organized? How many people were involved? We can glimpse the logistical marvel through the remnants of the workshops, the kilns where the figures were fired. But the precise methods and management remain shrouded in the mists of time. Did they use complex blueprints? Or was the creation driven by a more organic process, a collaborative effort passed down through generations of artisans? It's a fascinating puzzle, a silent conversation between those who built it and those who now study it. And what about the faces? Each soldier is unique, bearing individual expressions, though often partially obscured by time and erosion. Were they modeled after real soldiers? Did each face represent a real person, memorialized in clay? Or were they idealized representations, embodiments of the emperor's army? The subtle variations in facial features continue to inspire debate and speculation. Every careful examination reveals new details, new hints at the lives and identities reflected in those ancient visages. The weapons found alongside the soldiers are another source of wonder. Many are astonishingly well preserved, their bronze gleaming even after centuries buried in the earth. The craftsmanship is breathtaking, suggesting a level of technological advancement that wasn't fully appreciated until relatively recently. The sophistication of these ancient weapons adds another layer to the mystery, highlighting not only the scale of the project, but also the sophistication of the civilization that created it. How was this technology maintained? What were the training methods of the soldiers who wielded these impressive arms? These are questions still whispered amongst researchers, echoes in the hushed halls of museums and universities. Then there's the question of the missing pieces. While a vast number of figures have been unearthed, it's believed that many more remain hidden beneath the earth, waiting to be discovered. The full extent of the army, its true size and arrangement, remains a captivating enigma. Are there entire sections yet to be revealed? Perhaps entire formations, completely untouched by time? The potential for future discoveries adds another layer of intrigue, a promise of more secrets waiting to be unveiled. And finally, there's the enduring question surrounding the purpose of the army itself. Was it merely a funerary offering, a grand display of imperial power meant to accompany the emperor into the afterlife? Or was there a deeper, more symbolic meaning? Did the army represent the emperor's control over his vast empire, a tangible manifestation of his earthly power even in death? These are ponderings, subtle questions that drift like the smoke from incense, leaving us to rest soundly, knowing that the whispers of history will continue long after we've drifted to sleep. Let these questions drift with you into slumber, a gentle lullaby from the heart of ancient China. So, we leave behind the bustling construction sites and the echoing commands of the army, and we turn our attention to the enduring legacy of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor. His reign, though brutal at times, undeniably shaped the course of Chinese civilization in profound and lasting ways. Imagine, if you will, the whispers of history carried on the wind across the vast plains of China, whispering tales of his unification and his ambition. He didn't just conquer, he standardized. Picture the smooth, consistent weight of a newly minted coin in your hand, a tangible symbol of his unification. Before him, different regions used their own weights, measures, and even writing systems. He brought a sense of order, a common language, and a unified currency to a land previously fractured into warring states. Imagine the relief of merchants and travelers, no longer needing to navigate a confusing labyrinth of differing standards. It's a quiet revolution, but it laid the foundation for a more cohesive China. And then there's the writing. Imagine the scribes, carefully copying the newly standardized script, the strokes flowing with a newfound uniformity across countless scrolls. It was a standardization that survives to this day, a testament to the first emperor's far-reaching influence. This unified written language was crucial for communication and the spread of ideas throughout the empire. Imagine the scholars painstakingly copying texts, ensuring the preservation of knowledge for generations to come. But perhaps his most enduring legacy, the one that continues to capture imaginations across millennia, is the Terracotta Army. Think of those silent soldiers, each one unique, each one frozen in a moment of eternal readiness. They are not just soldiers, they are symbols of power, of the emperor's ambition, of his desire for immortality. Picture yourself walking through that vast underground army, the faint scent of clay still clinging to the air. The quiet grandeur of the sight is a powerful testament to the immense human effort, the incredible skill and artistry that went into creating this magnificent, haunting spectacle. And even though he sought to control every aspect of life, controlling the afterlife itself, the Terracotta Army speaks of something larger than just his ambition. It speaks of faith, of belief in the power of the afterlife, a belief shared by many cultures throughout history. The army was a reflection of his personal aspirations, of course, but it also encapsulates the spirit of ancient China, the respect for power, the awe of the unknown, and the enduring hope for a peaceful transition into the next world. The emperor's grand project, his attempt to control time itself, failed in the most literal sense. His empire eventually crumbled. Yet the Terracotta Army remains, a poignant reminder of his power, his ambition, and the enduring legacy of a ruler who, through both brutality and vision, irrevocably changed the face of China. The dust settles gently, the sounds fade into the stillness of the night, and the whispers of history continue, carried on the quiet breeze, weaving tales of Qin Shi Huang and his enduring impact. The legacy lives on, not in the fleeting power of an empire, but in the enduring symbols of a man's ambition and the lasting impact on the culture he shaped. Breathe deeply, let your body relax, and drift off to sleep. The sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the sprawling fields of Xi'an. As darkness settles, we find ourselves transported back in time to a world of emperors and armies, of breathtaking artistry and meticulous craftsmanship. We are near the Terracotta Army, a silent testament to a bygone era. Thousands upon thousands of soldiers, horses, and chariots stand sentinel, frozen in time, yet their story continues to unfold. Imagine the painstaking work, the sheer scale of the undertaking. Each figure, individually molded and fired, a unique piece in a vast, awe-inspiring ensemble. Think of the artisans, their hands shaping the clay, their minds envisioning the grandeur of the emperor's final resting place. Their legacy, etched in terracotta, endures to this day. But the passage of time, the relentless forces of nature, and the subtle effects of human interaction all pose a threat to this remarkable achievement. That's why preservation is an ongoing, delicate dance between the past and the future. The very air, laden with moisture and pollutants, slowly but surely erodes the terracotta surface. Think of the tiny particles, invisible to the naked eye, slowly chipping away at the details, blurring the sharp lines of the faces, dulling the vibrancy of the colors. The slightest shift in temperature or humidity can cause cracks, weakening the structure of these ancient warriors. So, teams of dedicated conservators work tirelessly, their efforts a quiet symphony of careful preservation. They meticulously document every detail, using advanced imaging technologies to penetrate the surface and understand the inner workings of each figure. High-resolution scans reveal hidden cracks and internal damage, allowing for targeted interventions. These aren't drastic measures, but rather gentle treatments. Think of a skilled surgeon working with infinite patience and precision. The conservators carefully clean the surfaces, removing layers of accumulated grime and dirt using specialized brushes and solvents. They use lasers to gently remove deposits without damaging the fragile terracotta. In some cases, they consolidate weakened areas, using carefully chosen materials that blend seamlessly with the original clay. The goal isn't to restore the figures to a pristine, as-new condition, but to stabilize them, slowing down the deterioration and allowing them to endure for centuries to come. Environmental control plays a crucial role. The climate within the museum is carefully regulated, maintaining a stable temperature and humidity to minimize the impact of the elements. Think of it as creating a protective microcosm, a haven where the terracotta soldiers can rest peacefully, sheltered from the harsh realities of the outside world. But preservation isn't just about technology and scientific methods. It also involves a deep understanding of history, art, and archaeology. Every decision, every intervention is guided by a profound respect for the past and a commitment to ensuring its survival for future generations. The goal isn't just to preserve the physical artifacts, but to preserve the stories they tell, the cultures they represent, and the knowledge they hold. And so, as you drift off to sleep, remember these silent guardians and the quiet dedication of those who work to ensure their stories continue to resonate through the ages. Let the image of these figures, preserved with such care, bring you peace and tranquility. Sleep well. The sun dips low, casting long shadows across the plains as you approach the mausoleum. Imagine, if you will, the quiet rustle of wind through the tall grasses, a gentle sigh accompanying your steps. Ahead, a vast expanse of sculpted stone unfolds, a testament to a bygone era. The sheer scale of the structure is breathtaking, yet somehow peaceful. It's a place of quiet grandeur, a resting place, built not just for one, but for thousands. As you draw closer, intricate carvings begin to reveal themselves. Tiny soldiers, frozen in their eternal vigil, adorn the walls, each one a meticulously crafted miniature. Their faces, though weathered by time, still hold a certain dignity, a stillness that speaks of unwavering loyalty. You can almost feel the weight of their history, the echoes of countless battles and triumphs whispered on the wind. You walk along the outer walls, your footsteps barely disturbing the stillness. The stone is cool beneath your fingertips, smooth from centuries of exposure to the elements. You trace the lines of the carvings, imagining the hands that shaped them, the minds that conceived this monumental tribute. These weren't merely soldiers, they were sons, brothers, fathers, each with their own story, their own life lived before the final silent march. The massive doors, crafted from a dark, polished stone, stand before you, inviting you to step inside. The air grows cooler as you enter, a gentle shift in temperature that seems to quiet the world outside. The space inside is vast and echoing, a cathedral of somber beauty. Rows upon rows of sarcophagi stretch into the dim recesses, each a silent guardian of its precious contents. The air is thick with the scent of time, a mixture of dust and ancient stone, a fragrance both melancholic and strangely comforting. You move slowly through the dimly lit space, your steps echoing softly. Each sarcophagus bears its own inscription, a brief chronicle of a life lived and a service rendered. Though the words are faded and worn, you can sense the pride that once filled those lines, the sense of honor and duty that propelled these soldiers to their ultimate sacrifice. As you journey deeper into the mausoleum, you notice the subtle changes in the light, the way it filters through unseen cracks in the stone, illuminating portions of the walls with an ethereal glow. It's a journey not just through space, but also through time, a slow, contemplative descent into the heart of history. You are surrounded by the silent testament of an army, a sea of stone bearing witness to the passage of centuries. Here, amidst the quiet grandeur, the weight of history feels palpable, yet serene. And in this serene setting, as you finally reach the heart of the mausoleum, the gentle hum of peace settles around you, a comforting embrace for your soul before sleep. The sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the plains of Xi'an, just as it has done for centuries. And as the day fades, so too do the harsh lines of history, softening into a gentle twilight of contemplation. We've journeyed together, through the dust and the whispers of the past, to the heart of the Terracotta army. Each soldier, each horse, each chariot, frozen in time, yet whispering stories across the millennia. Think of the sheer scale of this endeavor. Thousands of individual figures, each painstakingly crafted, each with its own unique features, its own silent story. Imagine the countless hours of labor, the dedication, the skill of the artisans. Their hands, roughened by time and toil, shaped the clay that would guard a tomb for eternity. They worked in the shadow of an emperor's ambition, a vision so vast it required an army to accompany him into the afterlife. But what of the emperor himself? Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of a unified China, a figure shrouded in both legend and history, powerful and ruthless, yet also the architect of this monumental undertaking. His was a world of constant striving, a relentless pursuit of order and control, mirrored in the disciplined ranks of his terracotta army. He sought immortality, a legacy beyond his mortal lifespan, and in this army he perhaps found a form of it. Yet the mystery remains. Why this army? Why such meticulous detail, such incredible scale? Was it a simple expression of imperial power, a statement of his dominion over life and death? Or was it something more profound, a desperate attempt to hold back the tide of time, to conquer even death itself? Perhaps it was a blend of both. The motivations of a man who sought to shape history are forever intertwined with the clay soldiers who now stand as silent witnesses to his reign. As you drift toward sleep, let the image of the terracotta army settle gently into your mind. Imagine the hushed silence of the burial mounds, the flickering candlelight illuminating the faces of those silent sentinels. Think of the weight of history, the passage of time, the enduring legacy of a man and his army. The army itself is an enigma, a frozen moment in time, yet their stillness paradoxically speaks volumes. Their presence echoes the ambition, the fear, and the hopes of an era long past. They are a testament to human ingenuity, to the enduring power of belief, and to the enduring mystery of mortality. They represent a vast unknown, a journey across centuries, a journey into the heart of a long-dead empire, and a journey into the depths of our own human fascination with the past. Let their quiet strength calm you. Let the vast expanse of the earth above them cradle you into a peaceful sleep. The terracotta soldiers stand guard not just over a tomb, but over a memory, a story, and a profound reflection on the nature of power, legacy, and the enduring human quest for meaning. And as you sleep, you carry within you the echoes of their silent vigil. Sleep now, rest well. The army will stand watch. The embers of the fire crackle softly, their light dancing on the cave walls, painting shifting patterns of orange and red. You feel the warmth on your skin, a gentle pressure as you sink deeper into the furs spread on the cool earth. The air is still, carrying only the faintest scent of wood smoke and damp earth, a comforting aroma that whispers of peace and quiet. Outside, the night is deep, the stars scattered like diamond dust across the inky canvas of the sky. Only the occasional hoot of an owl breaks the sounds, a sound so familiar, so natural, it only serves to deepen the tranquility. Imagine yourself walking along a riverbank at twilight. The water flows smoothly, its gentle murmur a lullaby against the soft sounds of the crickets chirping their evening song. The air is crisp, carrying the scent of pine needles and damp earth. The sun has dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of soft lavender and rose. The reflections shimmer on the water's surface, creating a mesmerizing display of colors that slowly fade into the deepening blue of the night. Each ripple, each gentle flow, each whisper of the breeze through the reeds, it all melts away any tension, leaving you feeling calm and content. Now, picture a field of wildflowers swaying gently in a summer breeze. The petals, in shades of delicate pinks, purples, and yellows, dance in the soft light. The air is filled with the sweet fragrance of blossoms, the hum of bees lazily drifting from flower to flower. The sun warms your skin, its gentle rays a soothing balm. You feel a sense of peace wash over you as you lie amongst the flowers, their soft petals brushing against your cheek. Their beauty is simple, their presence calming, their essence soothing. You breathe deeply, filling your lungs with the sweet, floral-infused air. The worries of the day melt away like dew in the morning sun. Let your breath slow down now, becoming long and deep. Feel your shoulders relax, sinking gently into the soft support beneath you. The music, soft and mellow, carries you farther and farther into a state of tranquil relaxation. Let the sounds wash over you, gently nudging you towards sleep. Each note is a soft wave, caressing your mind and body, washing away any lingering thoughts or anxieties. The visuals, now fading to soft shades of blue and gray, create a sense of calmness and serenity. Let your mind drift, allowing it to wander through these peaceful scenes. The crackling fire, the flowing river, the swaying wildflowers. These images, soft and calming, will carry you gently into a peaceful slumber. Feel the weight of your eyelids growing heavier, your body sinking deeper into rest. Let go of any tension you may be holding, releasing it with each slow, gentle exhale. You are safe, you are warm, you are at peace. Sleep comes easily now, a gentle embrace that carries you away into a world of dreams. Drift off now into the soft stillness of the night. Sleep soundly and wake refreshed.